Hello everyone, my name is Gordon for Kite Reviews, and today we're going to talk about a really exciting kite for me. This is called the Walla XL. It's about a 7-foot kite, and this is the XL model. They do make a regular size Walla, which is like closer to maybe a 5-foot kite, but both of them are actually really quite expensive. They're made by a company called Flying Wings, which is a very small niche manufacturer. So you're not going to find this kite at places that you're going to find your, your Prisms, your HQs, kind of some of those more mainstream brands. These are like a small manufacturing operation, possibly even handmade. I don't know all the details, but it's a low volume thing, and they're quite expensive as a result of that. This is a $140 kite, I believe. Its little brother is a $70 kite. Which is still pretty expensive for, a small Delta type of thing. But, you say that's really quite an expensive kite, and I would agree with you, but it's really a budget alternative to getting a whole new lifestyle. And that's what I think this kite really is, actually. It provides a new lifestyle, because this is a low-wind specialist, and they even quote down to 0 miles an hour of wind. That this thing will fly in. And so, you can literally fly it by just walking backwards in still air. So it does need some motion, some wind in order to fly, but if you can feel the wind even a little bit on your face or something like that, this thing will fly in it. No joke. It is that lightly built, and it has some pretty sophisticated geometry that allows it to do that. And I would assume, I don't have any personal experience, that the smaller version would be almost as good, if not equally good. I have found, at least in my kite travels, that, well, making a kite bigger does have a small effect on the range of wind that it flies in on the low end. The design and construction have a lot more to do with that. And so, that's why your Zenith 7 doesn't fly in 40% less wind than your Zenith 5 does. You maybe get a mile an hour there, but you don't get a substantially different thing, even though the wing area is almost twice as large. So, in this case, we have a kite that's very large, but it is designed to fly in very, very low wind. And you might say, well, yeah, but then I'm flying this kite, and there's kind of no other kites I have that would fly in that weather. And you got a point, that if you're going out for a day of flying, you're going to be flying this and some sleds and some other light wind specialists. That's about all you're going to get done on days like that. However, this opens up more days that you can fly. This is what I mean by, it changes your lifestyle. There are times and places where we have kite events and there's no wind, or this is the only afternoon that you and your friends can get together and fly kites or something like that, and there's no wind. All of those kinds of situations are great for a kite like this. It's really a large kite. It dominates the sky. I think the eyeballs are adorable, and it does take a little bit to assemble properly. And you're going to want to be careful when you do so, because unlike your Prisms and your HQs and stuff like that, this is built very lightly. And it requires some bending and some tension in order to get there. So you just want to make sure that you're doing that properly. Otherwise, you could damage it. You could break a pole, something like that. And small niche manufacturer, it may be hard to get a hold of those sorts of parts and stuff like that, too. So, just be careful with it, and don't fly it in too much wind. But it does open up a whole new set of days that you can fly kites. For example, I was just recently traveling, and there was a lot of low wind days, and I was really excited. I really wanted to fly kites on this trip, and I didn't get to fly very many kites because it was so not windy, and it's because I didn't have this kite. Had I had this kite with me, I probably could have been flying almost every day. And that's what I mean by $140 is expensive for a kite, but it's a really cheap lifestyle choice. And that's what this kite offers you, is the notion that you could fly kites on just about any day, in just about any wind. So, I think for that, it's money well spent, and it's worth putting up with the fact that it is not built particularly well. It's not, it's crafted well, but it's designed to be very light, and so the fittings are very light, the stitching is very light, everything on it is very light so that it will fly in these low winds. So you have to kind of put up with that a little bit. You also have to put up with the fact that this is its carrying case, which is just a nylon bag. It works. That's about all I'll say about that. I don't think it's a particularly nice way. I don't even think it's the most functional way to carry this kite around, but it's what they give you. So, if you're willing to put up with those sorts of things, and the cost, the benefit to you is that you get to fly in weather that no one else can fly in. And that's really exciting, I think, actually. And I think you'd be amiss if you are a kite person and you want to fly kites consistently to not have something like this in your inventory, so that on those days or in those places where we want to fly kites but there just isn't enough wind, this thing will probably cover you on those days. And, as you can see, it looks absolutely great flying. I especially love the warm color version, but they do have a cold color version. There's also, in the smaller form, they have specific colors like red, green, blue, etc. So, but they all have these adorable eyes, and they all fly in very, very low wind. So, with that, I think I'll conclude this review. Again, my name is Gordon for Kite Reviews. Thanks.